JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave us a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Toddler and a 25-year-old man killed in drive-by shooting in Kingston 20. A 2-year-old boy and a 25-year-old man were killed in a drive-by shooting along Greenmead Road, Marville, Kingston 20 on Monday night. The toddler has been identified as John Jackson of a Nanville, St. Andrew address, while the man is Kamali Powell, otherwise called Beans, a businessman of Greenmead Road. The Corporate Communications Unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force says Paul was seated on a bench in his community with a group of persons when a motor car approached about 7:30 p.m. and the occupants opened gunfire at Powell. When the shooting subsided, Powell, Jackson, and another man were seen suffering from gunshot wounds. They were taken to the hospital, where Powell and Jackson were pronounced dead and the other man treated. Suspect held in Queen student's murder. A suspect is now in police custody following the tragic shooting death of 18-year-old Jada Pollard, a sixth form student at the Queen School. She was shot and killed at her home in Smoky Vale, St. Andrew, during a pre-dawn home invasion. According to the St. Andrew North Police, around 1:40 a.m., the suspect allegedly broke into the residence where Pollard lived with her family. The gunman reportedly gained entry through the front door, which was closed. The intruder reportedly confronted Pollard's mother in her bedroom and robbed her for a handbag. Her cries for help alerted her daughter, who exited her room to investigate. Upon encountering the gunman, Pollard was shot in the head. The sixth form student collapsed immediately. She was rushed to the hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival while the gunman fled. Head of the St. Andrew North Police Division, Superintendent Randy Sweeney, yesterday confirmed the arrest, while indicating that investigators at the Constant Springs CIB are still probing the incident. The brazen killing has sparked widespread grief. Education Minister Senator Dana Morris Dixon expressed profound shock and sadness. She described the incident as an unspeakable tragedy, noting that a bright and promising young life had been lost in the most senseless way. My heart goes out to her family, friends, classmates, teachers, and the wider school community as they grapple with this devastating loss, said Morris Dixon. The minister also confirmed that a trauma support team was dispatched to the Queen School to provide counseling and psychological support to students and staff and promised the continued support. Pollard's shocking murders cast a pall of sorrow over the school and the wider Smoky Vale community. One of her friends said, "Our classmates loved her. She was so sweet and the most humble person ever. I have not one negative thing to say about that sweet girl." Suspect charged with 14-year-old's murder hospitalized under police guard. The St. Andrew South Police have disclosed that the suspect charged with the murder of 14-year-old Terona Thomas is under police guard in hospital after he was shot and injured by a gunman in Lime Hall, St. Ann on September 6. The police say 24-year-old David King, otherwise called Dada and Breadback, was charged after eyewitness statements implicated him. King is also charged with wounding with intent in relation to the shooting of two men during the April 17 incident in which the teenager was killed. He will also have to answer to charges of possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony. It was reported that Terona, a student of Pembroke Hall High, was among three people at a food stall along Hill Avenue off Olympic Way when a motor car drove up. An occupant from the vehicle, later identified as King, opened fire at them. Terona was shot in the head and died while being treated at the hospital. Two men were injured. King was later named by the St. Andrew South CIB as a person of interest and subsequently elevated to wanted following intense investigations. The police say managed to evade the police during several operations in and outside of the corporate area for the past 4 months. Man killed in Nanville shootout was a former member of a shanty gang, say police. The police have released information about the fatal shooting of a 28-year-old man who they said died during an operation in Nanville Gardens, Kingston 3, on Monday morning. The deceased, Ricardo Lewis, otherwise called Pappy, was shot dead at his home on Blue Mountain Drive during an alleged shootout with lawmen. According to the police, around 4 a.m., about 20 personnel acting on information went to Lewis's residence. Upon their approach, the police said Lewis opened fire at them, resulting in an armed confrontation. During the exchange, Lewis was shot and injured, and a gun was seized. Further reports stated that Lewis was subsequently transported to the Kingston Public Hospital KPH, where he was pronounced dead. None of the officers was injured during the incident. The police say intelligence indicate that Lewis was a former member of the Akeem Boy Newman-led faction of the Ashanti Gang, which asserts dominance over sections of the Nanville community. They say Lewis was previously taken into custody on December 25, 2018, in relation to a dispute with another man who was a leader for a breakaway section of that gang. Lewis's mother, in an interview, said the police shot and killed her son in cold blood. The mother, Rosemary Walker, disclosed that the lawman took a baby from Lewis, shot him, put a gun in his hand, and fired one round from the weapon. Mountain View Avenue robbery suspect intercepted in Manchester. The police in Manchester on Monday arrested a man who is suspected of carrying out a robbery along Mountain View Avenue in St. Andrew. They say cash, including Jamaican and United States currencies, and the car he was driving have been seized. The police reported that the robbery occurred in the morning, and a description of the vehicle was shared island-wide on the police's radio network. A car matching the description, a 2019 Toyota Axia motor car, was spotted by a police team on Greenvale Road in Manchester. The vehicle was intercepted and the occupant was arrested. Cash was discovered in the vehicle and seized. The investigation is ongoing. Police cracked down on students loitering in Spanish Town. It's only been a full week since the resumption of schools, and the police in St. Catherine North already have their hands full trying to prevent students from loitering. Police teams were busy Monday morning clearing students off the streets of Spanish Town. During the operation dubbed Learn Not Loiter, 37 students, including 20 males and 17 females, were held as officers ordered scores of students to move along. Biometric data was collected and their parents notified. Sub-officer in charge of the St. Catherine North Community Safety and Security Branch, Sergeant Kester Fennell, said groups of students are frequently seen gathering and engaging in unruly practices before, during, and after school hours.
School begins at 7:30 and even at 8:30 you have large gathering of students out there idle on the street. Some of them have even been seen smoking in the bus park before going to school in the mornings. A lot of these children are not coming out properly dressed or attired for school. And so a lot of these issues that we have recognized, we want to ensure that we do our part in trying to rid our society and our students of these practices. As a matter of fact, we have already engaged with some of the administrators, especially the deans of disciplines for these schools. Whilst that may be so for some, it is not the case for all. These students are very selective in the buses that they choose to travel on. So if these buses are not playing the loud, lewd music that allows them to carry on and to engage in all kind of activities that are not suitable for children, most times they are not interested in taking those buses. So that will make the drivers reluctant to carry them in cases like these where they are only taking those buses under duress and not because they truly want to. What we'll be doing is ensuring that the buses are in the park in the morning. As a part of this initiative, we want to ensure that we engage the parents to point out to them the errors that they are making as well, because a lot of these students are not coming out on time and so therefore they cannot get to school on time. So we want parents to be able to understand their role in the process and their responsibility as it regards their children getting to school on time. So we want to be engaging with the parents and we want to ensure that all the children that are here in our custody live in the care of their parents.
Security guard among two charged after gun allegedly found in closet. A labor and a security guard have been charged with possession of a prohibited weapon and unauthorized possession of ammunition following the alleged discovery of a gun in their presence, police say. The charges were laid against 31-year-old Adrian Goburn, a labor of Oak Glades, Kingston 11, and a 32-year-old Roberta Marshall, a security guard of Tambourine Turn, Tower Hill, following the seizure of a Glock pistol with a magazine affixed containing 9 9mm cartridges at the Oak Glades address on Sunday. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police are that about 9 p.m., a joint military operation was conducted at the location where, during a search, the gun and ammunition were found inside a closet. Goburn and Marshall, who were present at the address, were then taken into custody, where they were subsequently charged. Their court dates are being finalized. JBNN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.